get this paper. I'ma shine on a hater, yeah. Build a mine, I got acres. Diamond ring like a glacier, yeah. And I came from my dad jungle, I won't eat when I get home. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Corey Got Kicks on a special episode of Corey's Top 10. Of course, we're already a month in the new year, but I feel like somebody's ex because we can't move forward without bringing up the past. So let's get into it. Let's do our top 10 from 2018. So it took me a long time to kind of come up with this list because, it's a lot of heat dropped this year. A lot of heat. Like this, I feel like this last year broke everybody's bank pretty much. You had all the Off-White collabs. You had the $150 Fear guys that came out at the end of the year. Like it was an expensive year. Actually, I think it was a study that said J23 app. They put out something that said like over 60 pairs of Jordan 1s, like 60 different colorways of Jordan 1s came out this year. And then to buy like every pair of Jordans, just Jordans alone, that came out this year, it was like over $3,000 or something crazy like that. I posted the actual stat on my IG, so make sure you follow me. Check that out if you actually want to check, if you want the correct information. But without any further ado, let's get into it. I brought a couple pairs that I managed to cop from my top 10 of the year, just to go in a little bit more detail. And then a couple pairs I didn't bring because I already wore them in previous episodes. So let's start off with number 10. Number 10 is going to be the Converse Brain Dead collaboration. So this one just barely nudged in the top 10. This is actually like a really dope shoe, and the other ones that it nudged out, I think it's just the creativity came with it, the limitedness of it, and like the fact that it wasn't something that immediately caught everybody's eye, but if you check the resale now, it shot up instantly. I checked it before I came here. It's at like $300 for a shoe that retailed at like $100, So I copped it. I knew it was something special about it when I saw it. Brain Dead has been taking off, in popularity recently this year. You might have noticed Kanye rocked a couple pair of their sweatpants or whatever. But their project with the Chuck was to basically capture every original colorway, like the first, you say unique colorways of the Chuck Taylor, and they put it all in one shoe. So let's go ahead and crack open the box, show y'all what we're working with here. So this is something where you actually need to see both pairs of shoes to really understand how much work they put into this. So as you can see, they captured the American flag kind of color. So the very first colorway of Chuck Taylor that was different from the original black and white was the U.S. colorway. So they brought that in here. And then they flipped that over to the camouflage colorway, which I think is a super hit. And then also there's the cheetah, right? Oh no, this is giraffe, my bad. The giraffe. And then the zebra. And then on the back, you can see right here more animal print colorways. This is giraffe, yeah. And then this is the U.S. flag. So, yeah, it's a clean shoe, and it's something that really stands out like when you wear it. So I wore this pair of shoes a couple times, and every time people always ask me like, man, like how much were those? Like these look like, I guess they look expensive. Some girl asked me if they were customs. I said no, like. It's definitely actually something put out by the company. But what's interesting is the word that says around it. It says, to see and be seen as far as the eye can see, who controls the men the same elsewhere. So I think it kind of speaks to just fashion in general. The point of wearing what you wear is a part of who you are. You know what I'm saying? And to show that you not really be in control, that's why we all have our sense of uniqueness, with everything we wear, because we're not controlled. But I don't know, Brain Dead might be saying, are we controlled by fashion? Are we controlled by trying to be different? I don't know. Something interesting to think about. So Brain Dead, I think they'll have a lot of interesting things coming out in the future. It's kind of a newer group. They do different clothing lines, so be on the lookout for them. Next in the top 10. Ooh, let me put that up clean. Let's see what I put here. Oh, the off-white Jordan 1s, the UNCs. So I actually have a pair of these, but and I haven't worn them. I should have brought those. I don't know why I didn't. But the reason these made the countdown was because other than the Chicago pair, I think this was the Chicago pair came out 2017, I believe. So 2018 was the pair I think had to make it because it was a more general pair. Like they did, Nike did several releases of this shoe, so a lot more people had the opportunity to grab them. Like when the Chicago pair first dropped, the sneaker, it was like the sneakers app was pretty much brand new. It crashed, like nobody got a pair, like except like 5 people. That's why they up for like thousands of dollars right now. But the University Blue pair, basically the UNC pair, was a little bit easier to copy, and it's still super clean. It has that classic Jordan UNC colorway, which a lot of the popular shoes get. They got UNC 6s, UNC 1s. So for Virgil to do an off-white version of that, it really speaks to sticking with the grassroots of the shoe. So I really appreciate that, and it's honestly like a beautiful shoe. So number 8, the React Element 87. So on the previous episode, I did it was my shoe of the month, my React Element Lakeside Greens. But the shoe, the specific one that I chose as number 8 in the top 10 is the Sail colorway. So the reason I chose that one is because that's the OG, that's the first colorway to come out, and so the reason I chose that was it was the first color, the OG colorway to come out, and it dropped overseas first, and I remember seeing it online, and everybody was saying like, "Man, this shoe is so dope!" Like it dropped in Europe, and I had access to a couple European sites, but I kind of passed on it. And I was like, I haven't seen it in person yet. It's a new model. Like I don't really know how cool it's gonna be. And then when I finally saw somebody do basically an opening of it on YouTube or whatever, I was like, oh, that's a dope shoe. I tried to get it when it came to the U.S., but sold out quick. Of course, everybody had them, botted them up. But that was a dope shoe. And the reason it made the top 10 is because it basically was the inspiration. It was so popular, and that Nike did over 10 different colorways, maybe more, a bunch of different colorways of the shoe. It's basically, in my eyes, the new foam posit. So, when foam posits were hot, pretty much a new colorway was dropping every weekend, so they kind of did the same thing with the React Elements. What was really cool about the shoe also was the React technology. So I kind of talked about it in a previous episode, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but let's go ahead to number 7. So number 7 is going to be the Off-White Hollow Z Blazer. So I also talked about this before, but I think the whole Hollow what was it called? The whole Halloween package from Off-White was dope. So there was the Grim Reapers, which was the blazer that was black and white, and then there was the Hallows Eve. Those Hallows Eve were clean, with the orange swoosh, and then they had the blue tag on them, and the blue, if you the alternate laces were these baby blue laces. They were, they hit just right. So those definitely belonged in the top 10. Number 6, it was a more generic shoe. This actually is the first. This is a shoe that it's in the top 7 that isn't a collab, but the Bread Toe Air Jordan 1. So the reason this shoe, you might have seen me wearing a pair of those on my previous episode, but the reason this shoe made the top 10 was because this was a sneaker I felt looked like a OG colorway. This was something that you could easily picture Mike wearing on the court, this with the Bread Toe on it, the Chicago colors. It was this is a dope shoe, and it sold out. It definitely showed that. Number 5, the Soulfly Art Basel. So the reason I picked this shoe was because not only was it the Miami colorway, so not only was it a dope colorway, But this was the first shoe of the year that actually caused a riot when it released. So it released at the Art Basel Fair in Miami. It was a Soulfly Jordan 1 collab. And basically when the shoe dropped, everybody, it was a surprise drop. Of course, people was watching the Soulfly Twitter. They put it up, then a mass mob just ran to the tent and basically, just mobbed out over there, just mobbed out like crazy. So they had to cancel the release, and then they did a surprise release online where you had to fill out a Google Doc. Basically, I got an entry in, but I didn't get selected, of course, so they'll be right here. But yeah, and then the rest of them, I guess, kind of got raffled off somehow. Number 4, the Para Air Max, but the friends and family version. Man, what was so clean about this shoe was the fact that they got rid of the Nike check on the side, and instead it had this real like artsy like clouds background kind of thing, and it was just a beautiful looking shoe. Actually, it was so good that the designer Piet Para, I follow him on Instagram because I was like, man, I need to see more of this dude's art. It's like I need to appreciate it more because clearly if Nike found them, there's something in there that I need to appreciate. All right, and as we get into the top 3, the number 3 shoe is going to be the Sean Weatherspoon Air Max 197. So, yeah, this shoe was obviously super popular among sneakerheads. Everybody loves Sean Weatherspoon. Everybody was like, I need these. They got like the freaky like pink and blue and gold color scheme all over them. And they sell for a decent, I think like around 600, maybe a little bit over 600. So it's something that kind of belonged to every sneakerhead's collection. They even thinking about coming out with a V2 in 2019 that should be just as clean. Number 2, I did bring my number 2. It's going to be the Union Jordan 1. So I chose the Storm Blue colorway as my favorite. What I really liked about these was the concept behind them. So like basically the Union Lab in LA had a bunch, like the crew had brought all their Jordan sneakers together, and they kind of saw like, different things from each shoe that they really rocked with. So what they wanted to do was kind of take an idea of like, what if we just brought something to the sneaker game that was new but still had that nostalgic kind of feel, like sneakers that were slightly old or whatever, slightly beaten, but like still fresh, So basically what they did with this shoe was that they yellowed the midsole right here. So you can see like, it looks like it got a little bit of like yellow into it. Same thing with the laces, got a little bit yellow to it. But then what I think is really interesting is the stitching. So if you look, you see they kind of have like stitching, like they stitched 2 pair of shoes together. They do the same thing with the laces. Like the laces are 2 different colors because they kind of stitch together right here. I don't know if you can see it, but they stitch together. They go from like the yellow to like the black color up top. And I just think it's something that's super creative. In the future, they said they might even do more collabs just because this shoe was so loved. You might see some of your favorites like Michael B. Jordan wore parodies to his Creed, his Creed 2 interview. But yeah, this clean shoe definitely worth the this spot. It earned this spot, in my opinion, in the top 10. And then finally, the number 1 shoe of the year has to go to my man Travis Scott with the Cactus Jacks. The Cactus Jacks 4, the original light blue colorway. That's something that everybody wanted. Everybody kind of had the opportunity to get, and that's something that if you own and if you haven't worn it yet, keep those to the side because that price is it's been creeping up this year, but it's only been a year. Give it some time. That shoe is gonna be worth something in the future, especially with the different colorways and like depending on Travis Scott's career, how it goes in the future. It's damn near gonna be like the Yeezys that were with Nike. I don't know if you guys remember the Nike Yeezys. It's gonna have that kind of value in the future. So make sure I say if you like them, cop a pair now because in the future it's just gonna be just like these. They're gonna be worth $1,000 and hard to get. I got my pair and I'm loving them. I'm keeping them in the side. That leather, that leather on them is real. It's like butter. That's a well put together shoe. So that's my top 10 for 2018. Pretty much next up is going to be 2019 shoes. I'm excited to see what Nike has coming out. But honestly, I think 2019 is going to be the year of Adidas. I'll probably get to that on my next episode because I think I'm running out of time. But I just want to shout out real quick the shoes that I think are going to be most hyped, like most look forward to in 2019. So we got the Bread Air Jordan 11s. It's supposed to be the Christmas shoe. You know, every Christmas Nike drops a classic Jordan 11. The Bread 4s are coming back out. Make sure you keep an eye out on those. Those are going to be clean. Those are going to be hard to get. But if you want them, you'll find a way. You'll get them. The Infrared Jordan 6s. Those are coming out All-Star Weekend. I'm being Charlotte. Stay tuned on my IG. I'm going to post every pop-up that I slide through. I'm going to make sure I show y'all what's going on down there. Also want to shout out, like I said, Adidas is going to have the D.O.N. So that's Donovan Mitchell shoe, issue number 1. That's a clean-looking shoe. The Spider, like it's a clean-looking shoe. Check it out. I dropped my phone. I'll post a picture of it so y'all can see them. The D.O.N. Issue number 1 is dope. Finally, the Fear God Nike collaboration. So Fear God, the first pair didn't make my top 10 because there's going to be so many different pairs coming out this upcoming year. So they had the black ones that, you know, I actually had a video of them. So also follow me, check it out because it went up. But the gray ones that dropped just last month, man, those were nasty in person. Like they nice. And then of course Yeezy Season 8. So all right, without further ado, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for tuning in, and follow me Instagram COREYGOTKICKS. Subscribe to my YouTube, and stay tuned.